So why should we send them more money? Once they become responsible, then maybe we could look at something, but that's not an option. We pay enough taxes. I pay enough taxes. Let's start looking at things to cut rather than start looking at ways to bring more money into the government. I mean, they've already racked up $16 trillion. We could tax everybody over $250,000 100%, and we still wouldn't be able to even make a dent in the deficit. We would still be going in debt. At what point do we say enough's enough? If we can keep more money at home, we can invest it wisely. We know how to spend our money correctly. But the federal government says, give me more, give me more, give me more. Well, I say no. And so I'm going to fight every day to make sure taxes aren't raised on anybody or any corporation.
Rebuttal.
I don't want to raise anybody's taxes. And the key to being able to avoid raising taxes has got to be growth in the economy. Not growth in Wall Street, not growth at the huge business level, but growth out here in the real world. Growth out here where small business is expanding its payroll. Growth out here where folks get money in their pockets that have to spend it for daily necessities, who have to spend it to generate just their daily life activity. If we do that, then we'll create manufacturing demand. And when we create manufacturing demand, we cause manufacturers to need to expand their payrolls. And when they expand their payrolls, they hire additional people who have money to spend. And it's a virtuous cycle that helps us grow the economy at the middle class level, not at the Wall Street level. You know, one of the things that is essentially true about what my opponent just said is that we could cut the entire discretionary budget, the whole thing, and it would not balance the budget. So we have got to take a serious look at the entire budget, not just some small portion of it.
See, what's happening right now in Congress, since they got to run for a re-election every 2 years, is they just continue pushing it down the road, because they don't know what true leadership is. Leadership is sometimes you got to take a stance, and sometimes you got to make a hard decision. Sometimes you got to make a decision that's best 5, 6, maybe even 10 years down the road, not 2 years. If we start sending people up there that understand it's not about your next re-election, it's about America's best interest first, we'd fix this problem.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, Rob Wallace, next question. Campaigns are often won or lost with witty-sounding sound bites. We've heard them all on television and radio. But once in office, you'll be expected to understand multidimensional, weighty issues that often have dire consequences. What about your experience, and what in your experience prepares you to be a leader on the most critical issues facing our country in the next decade? And please address how, as a freshman congressman, you will be able to impact that change.
Well, again, I appreciate the question. The problems that we face are serious problems. And these are times when we need serious people who are ready to approach those serious problems in a serious manner. Now, I have been blessed to have worked in a realm, and Cindy, here it is, a realm of right and wrong as opposed to right and left. And I think it's important that people measure my experience against my opponent's experience with regard to the technical nature of the job that has to be performed. I have been consistent in every position I have taken in this campaign. I have waged this campaign based on principles and based upon a set of issues and positions that you can go back across the record and see. I have not changed a single position. And I have prosecuted in some of the most technical organized crime cases the country has seen. And that's what prepares me to be ready to take on those technical issues in Congress.
Rebuttal.
Well, I'm not afraid to take on a challenge. Just look at my life. You want to know who I am? I'm a plumber, and I'm a pretty good rancher. I can give a cow a shot as she runs across the field. But we're involved in so many other businesses besides that, because I know how to collect a good team around me. I know how to organize individuals, and I don't go to them and ask them, how do you vote? Are you a Republican or are you a Democrat? My wife and I have been blessed with 8 companies. We employ over 120 people. We know how to build a structure, and we've got the greatest team around us. That's why I'm sitting up here in front of you today, because we have a good leadership team. And I don't know how one of them votes. I don't know if they're Republicans or Democrats. And what we got to do is go up there and quit judging individuals because they're Republican or Democrat. But we got to go up there and understand, do you got America's best interest in mind? If you've got America's best interest in mind, then let's go to work. Let's get this country back on track, and let's go home and not make politics a career.
People are sick to death of the labels Republican and Democrat. Sick to death of blue and red. Sick of hearing people try to score political points. Sick of people trying to score jobs or positions on Sunday morning talk shows. What people want are solutions. They don't care whether they're Republican solutions or Democrat solutions. What anyone who sits in this seat going forward has to do is enter Congress with the idea that we're going to establish relationships with people there, regardless of their party affiliation, to make sure we find solutions that work for people out here in the real world. That's what I'll do.
All right, now we move on to the 1-minute closing by each of our candidates. And according to the coin toss again, we start with Rob Wallace.
Well, Sandy, thank you very much. It's hard to make a closing argument in a minute, but here we go. You've got to make a decision about who you trust. You've got to make a decision about who has, from the beginning of this campaign, staked out clear positions with regard to the issues and not wavered from them. I've never said get government out of Social Security and then said keep the promise. I've never said that we should protect ourselves with a secure border and then refuse to use E-Verify, which helps us to do that. I've never said that the Patriot Act was the stupidest law ever passed. I've simply used key pieces of the Patriot Act to make sure that we were putting Mexican drug lords in prison, Chicago gangbangers in prison, and some of the most technical legal litigation that you can be involved in. Those things let you know that you can trust me, that you know where I stand, and that I have consistently told you where I stand. I'm the candidate you can trust.
Mark, what do you want?
Well, you definitely have a clear choice come November 6th. And we're going to be choosing not just our future, but we're choosing the future of the generations behind us. We're going to be choosing the president's agenda to get it more to a socialist-style country. Or we're going to be choosing to go towards the republic that our founding fathers set up. We must understand that the person we pick needs to be willing to work with the president. Hopefully that president's going to be Mitt Romney. Hopefully we're going to be able to work with him. And I'm going to be able to go up there and serve with an individual that's going to be moving this country forward, not defending our Constitution against this Congress or against this president named President Barack Obama. It's time we start sending people that truly represent us, that come from us. I would appreciate your vote. Come November 6th, we look forward to turning a new chapter in District 2. Thank you so much.
All right, November 6th, please let your vote, your voice, and vote be heard in this election. We would like to thank the Claremore Chamber of Commerce, Rogers State University, the Claremore Daily Progress, RSU Public TV, and the RSU Department of Communications. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Good night.